Hey, Lax Coach Mike here, laxcoachmike.com. Listen, this is the second in our series on the adjacent slide package. We get into a little more about what the other guys are doing, and what we're really trying to do is protect ourselves for maybe being slow or failing on the second slide, regardless if you're sliding coma or from the crease. Just some other thoughts for you to think about. I hope you enjoy. Lax Coach Mike.
Guy up top to the outside, and when a guy comes from behind, we slide from adjacent down. Now this midi, my defensive middies, I can't tell you how many of these chop talks I do. I gotta learn, and my hands will be like Crayola when I get done, you know. Anyway, you know, my defensive midi here is gonna come down and help with the slide. You know, to me, it's easier for this midi to just naturally drift in here, this midi to draft in here, jump in here a little bit closer, and I'm still tight here, right? And, you know, if they got an attackman out here, you know, I'm still in a position to help here. So now, while this guy's driving, if we don't get the slide, you know, the guy who's most open is their midi far side, you know? So the only way to really beat this is for this guy to immediately turn this attackment. If you got well-coached teams, this is where it gets into be like a chess match. If I got a well-coached team, what does this guy do? This is Phil, right? So when this guy drives, if he bangs it here and he bangs it to this guy cutting, that's how you beat my slide.
Right.
But that takes a pretty well-coached team, okay? And this now becomes a right-hand catch to a left-hand feed. Well, I guess theoretically it could be a left-hand shot, but to a right-hand shot. And, you know, this guy has to come over here because we never, ever, ever, ever want our attackman to feed over the back of the pipe.
Right.
Right? So now he's got to make a pass either to the far side of the pipe or to a pass here. He gets 2 or 3 steps. Presumably by this time now these guys have their sticks in the air here, right? And we're in somewhat of a position to cover that. But it is, you know, I'm very unique in that, Josh. I mean, I don't, a lot of times on my first slide and my second slide is relatively soft. You know, the downside with coma and crease is that if you don't make you know, if I don't make this slide, you know, I got a guy open right here, and, you know, the second slide is tougher. You know, up here I got a soft second slide, and if I don't make the second slide, I got a guy shooting from 18, 20 yards.
Right.
Here, if I don't make the second slide, I got a guy open on the doorstep. And again, if it's a well-coached team, talk about chess match, right? As soon as this guy drives, what's this attackman going to do?
Fill.
He's going to fill. So this guy's going to be preoccupied for a split second. You know, he's coached to come here, right? And play right in here. But yeah, he's making sure that, you know, if I'm on the far side, my guy fills, I'm here, oh shoot, now I got to slide. You know, I got to go.
Right.
The other thing is that if I'm sliding midi down adjacent, right, I can almost be quick to double here.
Yeah.
I can fake the double here. Right? I fake the double from in here, they score.
Right. So how do you defend against somebody driving from the top again?
I don't. Yeah, I don't. If one of these middies drives, I am selling out. I'm betting the ranch. And we work, you gotta work on it. You know, that we're gonna have the stick here, I'm gonna show you this drill today. And force this guy to go this way.
Okay.
And if for some reason, you know, he does, right, then I'm gonna slide this guy over, tell my defenseman to mostly stay home, and give this midi or this attackman who comes up that shot. And again, coach, you got to think about this, man. I'm not telling you do what I do, because I mean, I'll tell you, like offensive sets in motion, that's money in the bank. I've seen it work with 13-year-olds, 15-year-olds, national championship teams, everything else. This is just my fluky nature of coaching. Or you want to slide coma, you know, this is something that, you know, in practice, you got to run this at a controlled scrimmage or a 6-on-6 or a 4-on-4, and you know, we'll run a drill, right, where we'll yell, freeze, right, and the defender takes a knee immediately, and consciously in the thing we're working on this slide all the time. You know, most high school coaches are not in a position to have a full-time defensive coach. Alpharetta is, incidentally. But, you know, I was kind of amazed at this year's IMLCA, you know, the Notre Dame guy, who I